Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Toon Review. Very, very sorry for the late start, but my camera's having serious issues. It's not connecting to StreamYard at all. It's recognizing it, but it won't put it through onto the screen. However, I do have the iMac camera, which seems to be quite nice anyway. So we'll use that tonight and then see how we go. Alex is having internet problems, so he is going to be late on the show as well. So we will get him as soon as we can, as soon as he's back online. Now, you may see a link pinned in the comments of the... a link pinned in the comments of the link pinned in the comments of the comments. You can tell I'm flustered. Basically, what that is the podcast awards are now taking votes. So it'd be ever so grateful if you could click on that link, and then it asks you to search for your favorite podcast. If you just type the Toon Review, and then we'll come up at the top, and you can place your vote for us there. We would be very, very grateful if you could do that. I know a lot of you already have on social media, etc. So thank you very much in advance for the people that have done that already. We are very, very grateful indeed. Just to go through a few comments before we get started. I've had a tremendous time trying to get this list together, but it's been different, shall we say. But I think we'll all have a bit different apart from number one, to be honest. But you know, there we go. Jules, good evening all. Enjoy the show. Keep the click the like button, subscribe, and join the Toon Review family. Keep it respectful and no all caps. Good evening to Gary. Everybody saying hello, hello, hello. Susan's in the house. Evening to Adrian. Evening Carl. Evening Jock. Rachel, good evening. Evening Jackie. David. Glenn. Basically, hello everybody. Evening everyone, including chatters. Going to be a good one tonight. Shearer signing, Man United defeat Kevin Keegan, to name a few. I think there'll be a few mentions of Kevin Keegan tonight, and I'm also sure there's going to be a few, other things in there as well, to be honest, which will surprise a few. I think mine will certainly surprise a few, but we'll just have to wait and see. Kungle Fox's underrated wow moment is Willock's 95th minute equaliser against Liverpool after VAR robbed us. Yeah, I mean, people say we should have won that game, but had the first goal been given, there wouldn't have been enough time for the second one. So there you go. There you go. Wow moment is Bruno's first goal. Michael says, evening, everyone. Toon Review short today. Paul's laugh, absolutely brilliant. Made me laugh so much. Well, it was one of those moments that we had to put on a short, really, because, you know, it was one of those never forget Toon Review moments, and certainly a lot of us won't forget that when Alex came out with that. We have a new member, 1213 Sparta. Thank you very much for becoming a new member. Welcome to the Toon Review family. Danielle says, hey all, we're having a few tech issues. Be with you very soon.
And here we are, like magic.
Exactly. Tiote's volley to equalise 4-4 against the Ungratefuls. What a moment that was, yeah. Ben Arthur against Blackburn. Tino's hat-trick against Barca. Ben Arthur against Hull. Good evening, Julie. Jackie, I agree with that. We ripped them apart. Refrain Life Mindscaping. Hi, all. Good evening. Simon says Ben Arthur against Bolton when he picked up the ball from the halfway line. Yes. 7th of October, 2021. Interesting date that. I don't know what that means, but you know, never mind. Glenn says Ben Arthur, Robert free kick against Man United, Ginola volley in the Champions League, Shearer, Everton, and obviously Albert's chip. Yeah, it's not just goals though, guys. These aren't the wow goals. These are the wow moments that we've had as Manchester United, as Newcastle United fans. I only said that because I'm thinking of the 5-0.
Yeah.
Good evening, Paul. Evening, Lee. Hope you are all well. Let's have a look. Let's get those likes clicked, says Julie. I would listen to her. Trippier free kick versus Little Arms. Why are you scallywag, says Magpie. He is hoping for some more ludicrous German names used in a rant tonight. Well, hopefully be on when he gets his internet back on. Wes, good evening. Is there a delay? Yes, but there's not now. Bruno's last minute winner against Leicester. I was choked up. Well, I think that was just the way Bruno celebrated that goal, to be honest. It was a marvellous occasion. You know, but again, it's not just goals we're talking about. Evening, Paul, Danielle, Billy, and Alex. Hope you're well. Ordered key rings today. The bottle opener is one of my favorite, one of the two. I also voted for the Listener's Choice Award, Best Channel on YouTube. Thank you very much, Warren.
So
much
kind.
appreciated, matey. Danielle's just putting another message out there. We're still battling the Gremlins. Andy Griffin against Juventus. Yeah, another goal, but it's not just goals we're talking about. Keith says, hello from vacation in Jamaica. Look at this dedication to watching the podcast. Wow. I mean, Jamaica.
It's amazing.
I wish it was as cool as that here.
Well, I mean, yeah, the next 2 days are going to be sweltering. I mean, it's warm today. Don't get me wrong. I've got the fan blowing on, but I have a feeling that's going to be on full blast tomorrow. Glenn says, awaiting my green and white mug and top was ordered 28th. Don't talk to me about the tops. Do you know what it is? I got an email back actually off Castoria saying, can we take your order number, please? Now, I'd already explained in the email that I don't have an order number because I didn't get a clarification email. I also didn't try to log into my account, which it now says I no longer have a store account. So where am I supposed to get the sudden order number from? So I've said, look, I've got my statement with the 65 quid taken out of my bank on the 29th of June. Where's my shirt? So let's just see what comes back from them next time. Bobby's first home game, an 8-0 win. Yeah, that was tremendous, yeah. Clarky says, this show is normally late anyway, so I'm used to it. No, we're not. Very rarely do we go late. I'm just going to switch that other camera since it's not really working. Piece of crap. I'm going to have words with that later on. This is like waiting for Newcastle United to sign a striker. Ooh. Annie says, when Danny Simpson was let go, that wasn't a wow moment for Newcastle United. More chance catching a bus on time. Clarky, go and stick one up your ass. Brian says, apart from the obvious takeover, Cissé's against Chelsea, Super Mac Forest, they're all goals as well. Fair enough, remembering all the goals, but there was some other wow moments in Newcastle United's time. Leeds 3, Newcastle 4. That was a great game. All good, Paul and Danielle. We talk among ourselves, so about them Knicks. Billy farted again and blew everyone's headphone speakers. Well, I've got some nice headphones coming tomorrow.
One fart.
I'm getting rid of the red and black ones, guys. I've taken too much flack for them, so I'm getting rid.
That was the old.
Absolutely. Has the heat gotten to the gear? I think it has actually. Yeah. I had a technical issue with Arc Evolved. Wouldn't shut down fast enough. Both Cissé's goals against Chelsea. Darren says, hi all. Hope everyone is staying comfortable with the heat. Love these shows. Great to reminisce. Would be awful shows if we still had Ashley. But these days are all coming back. Yes, they are the good old days. Hello all. First black and white. First stream back in a while. I hope you're well, mate. Wow moment from last season when they sacked Bruce.
Definitely for you, Stu.
Yeah. Paul says, Paul, where can I say hello to you? And come friend. It's just by the club shop, mate. That's where we'll be. Me and Alex will be standing there, just along from the club shop, right next to the Jackie Milburn statue is where we normally hang out before a game. So you're welcome to come and say hello. For me, it's the Mike Ashley moment back when Keegan returned was unreal. The hope of what could be coming back. The media talking about marquee signings of Henri, etc. Who knew what was to come? When I first walked up the old Gallagher steps and seen the floodlit pitch, says Kane. Yes. Even Paul, Daniel, and Billy gone all big time, turning up late. No, certainly not. It's not. I don't like it when my gear doesn't work. Having said that, I do have a new Stream Deck on now, which I've just at a press of a button, I'm able to go to places on here without using the mouse. So it's quite good. I can turn my mic off with a press of and then I turn it back on like that. You see, fantastic.
Norman Collier.
Absolutely. Pilo Keith says, my wow moment was when we signed Keegan in '82. Only found out when I collected my dad's Chronicle from the shop and it was all over the front page. That changed our entire future. What a moment that was. I was only a young kid at the time, but I still remember the euphoria that was going around about, Keegan signing, etc., etc. It was just tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. The transformation of Joe Linton is a massive wow moment, says Retro Andy. Indeed. Look, I mean, Joe Linton, he's up there. He's just up there. Simple as that. He hasn't made my list, unfortunately, but he is up there, definitely. Kath Chandler says, please get Alex to say that player's name again. I think that's why he's not come on, because he's confused himself. David Smith, thank you for your £4.49 super chat. He says, third goal against Anderlecht quarter-final Fairs Cup. For 3 minutes, 60k Geordies going berserk till they got one in the 89th minute. We all went home crying. Yeah. Wow. Andy Cole versus Liverpool. I think that's why a lot of people are still wary of believing how big we are about to become. Mark and Danny said, voted for the best Toon review. Thank you very much. Moment was takeover day. 5-0 against the Manx. 4-1 away to the Scum, which was, of course, Alan Shearer's final game of his Newcastle career, of course. Evening, Jim. Wes has voted for the Toon review. Thank you very much. I've already voted Paul for the Toon review. Cheers, Gary. Those just joining us. There is a link at the top of the comments, guys, just to basically it's for the podcast awards. If you click on it, it'll take you through to their website. You just type the Toon review in, hit the Toon review to vote for, and Bob's your uncle. Fanny isn't your aunt, and we're in. Gary says, yes, guys, quiet last night without you guys, nothing to watch. Jonas Gutierrez for me, coming back from cancer and scoring that goal, unbelievable, Jeff. Well, we'll never forget that moment. Absolutely. Jules says, genuinely, hand on heart, we got a taxi out last night, and guess no. Very funny, Jules. Just voted for you guys as chappers. 7th of October was takeover, wasn't? Come on, Kath. It's not just a random date. It's a date that will live in the memory for many, many moons to come. 50 years this year when Hereford United beat Newcastle 2-1 in the FA Cup, and Supermac missed a sitter in the match. I didn't see that game because what year was that, Billy?
73, 72.
I wasn't even on this planet.
No.
Jeff says Kenny Wharton sitting on the ball. Oh yeah, that was tremendous. That was just a piss take, that really. Takeover day, says Dave. Glenn says Shearer coming home, and Sir Bobby at Shearer's testimonial. James says Pardew's headbutt. Wow. Evening all, I'm still laughing after Friday's show. Pure class, says Moxie. Jamie, our resident hammer. Evening, everyone. Yesterday, I won a Life Achievement Award by playing for my Hertford Town inclusive team. Been playing for them for 7 years. I was proud of myself. Well done, Jamie.
Well done, Jamie.
Congratulations. Paul said Man United by mistake. Wait until I see you. Haha, Sinclair. That's your lead, that one, isn't it?
Yes.
When Pardew got headbutted. Good evening, you lovely bunch of beautiful people from tropical Belfast. Ryan says, huge wow moment for me was the Atmosphere versus the Sours 5-1 when we were relegated. Yeah, listen, that'll stand out. Or even, to be honest, the first game in the championship that we played, the crowd, it was a full St. James's Park. You would not have got a crowd anywhere like that on the first day of the season after relegation, anywhere. And, the atmosphere in that ground when we lost to Spurs, when we beat Spurs 5-1, you wouldn't get that anywhere else on a team that was getting relegated. It's just incredible. Wow moment was new owners walking through the door. Jules says, my wow moment was and will be meeting our Dave H and his amazing hugs. Absolutely. First day back for War Flags, and the atmosphere it created against Tottenham was a massive wow moment. I actually wept like a man. Well done, Ches. Is Paul still lava lamp crazy? I am indeed. I'm a lot all crazy over my camera tonight, though. Not happy. Don't know what's going on with that. Paul, walk into the club shop and take a shirt. Oh, I'm tempted. Very, very tempted.
Take your face for a shirt.
Take my face for a shirt. Aye, exactly, Billy. Exactly. Right. Well, I don't know what's going on with Alex, but we will start without him. And I'm sure if he manages to sort his internet out, we'll get him back on and he'll take part in the show. However, let's go with what you guys have got at number 10. And Billy, we'll go with you first.
Number 10. Because the only one I've ranked is the top one. So number 10 for me then is summer of 1982, the 19th of August 1982, just after the World Cup in Spain, where the England captain, who had always wanted to play in the World Cup, only managed 10 minutes with a bad back, against Spain in the second round. We drew 0-0. We needed to win to go through, but he missed an open goal, and happily enough. But the next news of this man was him signing for us on the 19th of August, and that's the signing of Kevin Keegan.
Yeah.
At the time, one of the best players in Europe, let alone England. The England captain, I think he'd just been relieved of his duties by Bobby Robson.
Mm-hmm.
But what a massive signing for a man of that magnitude to drop down a division to join us after being kind of top scorer in the league, or top 2-3 scorers in the league the previous 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
It's a massive statement of intent. And so Kevin Keegan, which actually modelled our future in more than one way. So the signing of Kevin Keegan as a Division 2 side as it was then was a massive statement of intent and a massive wow moment for me. He was always my idol and my hero.
Definitely. Tom says Keegan appointed manager in 92, Leicester away, May 92, Shearer's signing the takeover. Another one for Kenny Wharton sitting on the ball. Danielle, who have you got at number 10?
I've got mine's from the 24th of May 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the day that Mike Ashley spoke for the first time.
Ooh.
And I remember this
interesting
moment.
wow moment, that.
Because in our house, it's all kind of chaotic on match day. We're all kind of we've got the music on, everything. We've just got Simba. He was only been with us a week, and we're trying to get him all settled down for the match so that he wouldn't kind of cause mayhem when we're watching it. And then I just remember the reporter saying, and now we're going to go over to this reporter who's with Mike Ashley, and we're just kind of stopped and looked at the TV, turned the volume right up, and just sat there open-mouthed, because before then he'd never spoken. We'd never heard him speak at all. And we're thinking, right, this is the moment he's going to say something that's going to mean something. And he was talking about how, he'll sell when we win something. And by winning something, qualifying for the Champions League also qualifies as winning something. So we were thinking, he's going to sell. All we have to do is, we're full of hope and full of optimism. Little did we know what was coming. But I just remember that moment as if, you could have heard a pin drop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Darren says, not sure what I've missed, but what's the vote thing people are doing? It's for the podcast awards, mate. If you want to vote for the Toon review, just click on that link and go through that way if you want to vote for us. Sean says, my wow moment is when I saw your new mic, Paul. It's what type of wow, but Dyer boy, your dust up. Yeah, that was a big wow moment. It hasn't made my list, but it was a wow moment, no doubt about it. Ab says, wow moment when Paul's mic turns purple. Well, there you go. It just has. 3-2 against Barcelona, says Steve. Wes says, remember my dad getting the pink on a Saturday afternoon, hot from the press. It was great. I remember the pink. My granddad used to always get that. Anthony says, Finn Luca Lachenmacher. There he is again. The signing of Jeff Hendrickadino was my highlight, says Mr. Smith. Boyer and Dyer fighting. Yeah. My wow moment was subscribing to the Toon review. Oh, quality
Clark, hasn't he? He's pulled it back.
Yeah, he's pulled it back. Lovely. Well, my number 10 is losing to Sunderland. Now, I haven't put which in particular match because I fucking hated them all, especially the ones at home, which we know well and truly about. And Mr. Di Canio sliding down on his knees, when we were getting absolutely trounced. And the biggest one, of course, losing to Sunderland was the final game under the leadership of Rudd Hullett, which ended in disaster, of course. He left Shearer and Ferguson on the bench, and we lost the game. And the rest is history, as they say. But that was certainly my wow moment, was losing the home games to Sunderland. But those are the kind of things that will stick in my mind. I wasn't very impressed with it at all. But hey ho. Right, number 9, Billy Bob.
Yeah, let's go for one that's been just said in the comments in the chat. 4th of April 2005, Newcastle at home to Aston Villa. And strange enough, there's been a few wow moments when we played Villa, getting relegated against them. The Uriah Rennie show when he sent Shearer off for getting fouled twice. And generally, referees have to get involved for Villa to beat us. That day was a different kettle of fish. We were behind 2 goals to nothing, I believe, at the time when Kieran Dyer and Lee Bowie decided to have a punch up in the middle of the pitch. The only reason that they could come out, which made no sense at all, was Lee Bowie wasn't happy that Kieran Dyer wasn't passing to him. Grown men. Yeah. And, of course, this was kind of all icing on the cake. After that was Stephen Taylor handling the ball on the line and pretending he'd been shot and getting sent off and giving a penalty away.
Yeah.
The whole game was a wow moment. We got our asses kicked, and Dyer and Bow got their asses kicked after the game by Graham Souness by all accounts. But yeah, a massive wow moment, although a low one.
Yeah, massive low moment. And I mean, I can remember that. It was, something you would just watch and you just couldn't believe what was happening on the pitch. It was just a hell on earth moment for me, just seeing two of your own players actually going for it. And they were going for it. The shirts were ripped and everything like that. And it was awful to watch being a Newcastle fan, and it was an embarrassment. And something that will go down in history for many a wrong reason.
Indeed.
But and of course, yes, Stephen Taylor. I mean, that was. I mean, how many times does a club have to be embarrassed in 90 minutes of football? I mean, it was ridiculous, wasn't it? The way he went down and sort of. But that was what Stephen Taylor was all about. It wasn't the first time he'd done that in his career. It certainly wasn't the last. But that was the way it was. Right, Danielle, who have you got for number 9?
I've got going back to the 26th of July, 2009, for the Sir Bobby Robson Trophy game. I've put as one of my wow moments. Nessun Dorma in particular. In terms of, obviously we knew how ill he was, but when he, there was rumours that was he going to come, was he not going to be there because of how poorly he was.
Yeah.
And just the emotion when he was going down and all the players had lined up and he was in his little wheelchair with his little hat on, just unforgettable. Just to see, 5 days before he passed away, the emotion. St.
Yeah, I was
James's
going to say he
Park
passed away not long, didn't he? Afterwards,
it was a Sunday night, and he passed away on the Friday. And every time I hear Nessun Dorma, it just brings us back to that second. I remember I was at a friend's house and I'd phoned my dad in tears, and my dad was trying to console us over the phone, and I was like, it's just awful to see, but that moment was just wow. Like St. James's Park, everybody was in tears. But Gaza,
I can vouch for that. I was actually there myself on
Gaza's face, like it was just a wow moment for me.
Yeah, I'd agree. Seeing him like that was difficult, I think, for every Newcastle fan and every player that's played for him. Obviously, you look at the players' faces, the likes of Gaza, Beardsley, Shearer, all of them. They were just looking, thinking, wow, this isn't the Bobby we know. But it was actually great that we...
and how brave for him.
Magnificent. But that was Bobby Robson to a T, wasn't it? The bravery of the man was absolutely fantastic. And, I'm so happy he made that game, because the reaction he got when he was meeting the players, and then obviously came to Gaza, and you know how Gaza feels about him and how he felt about Gaza. It was just one in a million moment. It really was.
And it was that close season after we got relegated as well, and we didn't know who was going to be managing us.
Yeah.
Shearer was playing, so everyone was cheering for Shearer as well. But there was one funny moment that day, and that was poor old Jimmy Nail. His lifetime's ambition to play at St. James's Park. He was warming up before the game, kicking balls into the Gallagate net, looking great, looking proud of himself. A couple of minutes before the end, he came out, kicked off, ready to come on. The linesman put the board up 3 minutes injury time. He was about to come on, and the referee blew up full time without him getting on. I felt so sorry for him.
I know. It was one of those moments, wasn't it? I mean, poor guy. His dreams just shattered in an instant there when the referee blew for full time. He was like, no. Early yeah, he did. Yeah. I know. Thank you, guys. Everybody, loads of people putting in the comments that they've voted. Thank you very much. Really, really do appreciate that. It's the first time we've really had a huge following like we have now. So, you never know. It'd be good to get a few votes in there and see how we do. So thank you very much. And again, those guys who've just joined, there is a link at the top of the page of the comments. If you can go and click that, it'll take you through to the podcast awards. If you type in the Toon Review into the search bar and then give us a vote, we would really, really appreciate it.
Good.
Because you never know. The Toon Review might get a little night out in London or somewhere like that, which would be nice. You have to buy a frock, Danielle.
I'm glad you said Danielle.
What did you say there?
I'm glad you said Danielle.
Well, you can buy a frock if you want as well, Billy.
I'll have to go to Evans.
Yeah, but I would expect a nice dicky bow, Bill.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
One that spins like Frank Bush.
Of course, yeah. Right. Well, my number 9 wow moment was Alan Shearer signing in 1996. I think, watching him in the Euros, of course, it was brilliant because I think he'd already signed by then, hadn't he? He'd already was he at Newcastle? I'm not sure actually.
No, it was after.
It was after. I thought it was.
Yeah.
Because, you watched him in the Euros and he's banging the goals in, and then suddenly, we sign him and he gets that ovation outside St. James's Park, something that will probably never be seen again. That amount of fans outside St. James's Park to welcome him to the team. And then, of course, he flew out for pre-season. But the impact that Alan Shearer had for the team, for his career, he went on to become the Premier League top goal scorer, the top goal scorer in Newcastle United history. The man is a legend, and he will always be a legend up in Newcastle. And I guess for Blackburn as well, winning the championship at Blackburn, but becoming our player, the world's most expensive at 15 million quid at the time. I mean, that's how football has changed. 15 million pound was a world record fee at the time. And he was worth every penny. He really was worth every penny. So Alan Shearer for me gets the number 9 spot. So we move to number 8. Danielle, we'll go with you first for number 8.
I've gone back to 2013 when Joe Kinnear tried to sign his own player, which I thought was just like a wow moment.
Yeah,
when he tried to sign Shane Ferguson, he was on loan at Birmingham, and he actually tried to sign his own player. Like, wow.
I mean, that was one of the most ludicrous things ever, wasn't it? I mean,
it's such a Newcastle United thing to happen at that time, though, because it was like, at that time, it was like a comedy of errors. Like, all kinds of crazy stuff was happening, with Joe Kinnear in particular. But yeah, trying to sign your own player, man. I mean, you've got to take a long, hard look at yourself.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. That's a good one, actually. Peel O'Keefe says the FA Cup clash against Brighton and Telford Mills. Oh, what a twat he was. Yeah, he's got twat written in. I hated that guy. Getting my first Newcastle strip, Christmas 1974. Didn't take it off for months. Well, you would have had a lovely, lovely aroma around you when he win, wouldn't you? Wow. I mean, back in 74, they were the thick material. You would have sweated like a moose. Wow. Lewis York says, I bet the Newcastle players probably are glad that they're playing in Austria with the temperatures in the UK stupidly high. I believe it's quite warm over there as well. But of course, the heat wave is moving across Europe. So I think looking at Adam's vlog this afternoon that he did, mind you, he's covered some countries, hasn't he, in such a short space of time?
And really well, hasn't he?
Yeah. And considering he's doing it all on his own, it's brilliant. And he's showing us his hotels and that.
I just think he's funny. When he did the vlog from the swimming pool. I just thought that was comedy. I loved it.
Yeah, he'd obviously set his camera up in the corner and then he come walking down the stairs. The guy can't swim. The way he jumped in the water, it was like you saw the terror on his face. It was funny as anything, but he's
so
good
funny
on him. And of course, he's given us a sort of brief insight into the where they're playing tomorrow. Again, not a massive stadium. It's just basically one big stand, and then the rest of it's made up of sort of bars and stuff like that. But it's I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. Brad says getting absolutely destroyed at home by Bournemouth, which was the end of McLaren's reign. Yeah, Matt Ritchie ripped us apart in that game, if I remember. Was absolutely dominant on the left-hand side. My personal wow moment is getting to visit St. James's Park back in 2016 as part of a Christmas gift. Anthony's just put Graham Fenton. Oh, my God, there's a name. NJ says, my wow moment is the 9-0 win against Sheffield Wednesday at St. James's Park. So Bobby Robson is our manager. Shearer scoring 5, and I was just 19. Was it 9-0?
8.
I thought it was 8-0, yeah. Sean says, my wow moment was when the helicopter landed on St. James's Park to take Keegan away. Yeah, I mean, that is something I'll never forget. It was weird, though, because I don't know whether you guys remember, but it was very strange because nobody knew that the helicopter was coming. And then suddenly it lands on the pitch, Keegan gets in and buggers off, never to be seen again till he comes back as manager. The most surreal thing you'll ever see in your life.
But yeah, it's totally Newcastle United, though, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
it's going to happen.
Course.
It'll happen here.
Absolutely. Smiler says Shearer's testimonial was my wow moment. Bizarre that, because Celtic fans were all over the place. You know, they were in Newcastle like hours before kickoff. They made the atmosphere brilliant. But what I didn't understand was when everybody said, wave your trainers above your head, you know, and everyone took the shoes off and was waving the shoes above their head. I still didn't get that to this day. You know, but there you go. Paul says, Diane Boyer was shocking. How many times has it happened on the training pitch with no cameras around? But to see it during a game was just, yeah, exactly. And I think that's what everybody got a surprise of. Yes, it goes on the training ground very, very often. Of course, players will disagree with each other, blah, blah, blah. But the bottom line is you don't see it normally during a match, especially at that velocity. Billy, who have you got for number 8?
Trick or treat, definitely treat. 2010 Halloween, Newcastle 5, Sunderland 1. The chicken dance game, Kevin Nolan hat-trick.
Yeah.
Couple of goals from Shola. Titus Bruggle getting sent off. Steve Bruce being made a mockery of for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Just for 90 minutes, it was just fantastic. It was the stuff that dreams are made of. Bearing in mind, we've just been down in Championship for season. They thought they had the moral high ground. They soon lost that, didn't they?
Absolutely. What a game it was as well. I mean, just fantastic, wasn't it? I mean, just to thrash the Mackhams like that was incredible. And that was when we were on a run of beating them most times we played them. And then, of course, it went a bit sour after that, didn't it? They started to beat us. And
it was all the fun that came after as well, though. Like, my boss was a Sunderland fan. I used to ask him all the time what the time was. Oh, it's 5 past Sunderland, and, you know, stuff like that. Like, it was just went on for ages. It was class. Yeah,
it's brilliant. Just one of those things, again, that you'll just never, ever forget. Right, well, my number 8 is the 5-0 win over Manchester United. An absolutely wonderful, wonderful occasion for anybody who had anything to do with Newcastle United. It was just the greatest game you would ever want to see. And, you know, the performance was incredible. The atmosphere was just unreal. And, of course, it was only 36,000 back then before they put the top tiers on. So but the atmosphere and Shearer running in front of the Man United fans like some crazy goose, you know, it was just magnificent, man. And again, it's one of those games that I doubt we'll ever see again. That type of game. Philip Albert's chip over Schmeichel will long live in the memory. Ferguson's face, you know, just like a slapped ass, and it was just magnificent to see. And then the interviews after the game, and the, you know, Shearer laughing, saying, "Oh, we'll give them an absolute pounding," and all of this, and it was brilliant day, and a brilliant game of football. Stotty55, thank you for your £4.49 super chat. There's no comment there, but thank you very much for your donation to the channel again. Very kind, my man. Anthony says Bobby Robson being sacked for finishing 5th. Let's not get Danielle on that because that's still bitter.
More about how we found out he got sacked. An absolute disgrace.
Yeah, it was poor. It was really poor. George says agree with Danielle about the last time we saw Bobby Robson. I'm glad I was there. Glenn says there's only one Bobby Robson. Jackie says Bruce's how's the bacon? Did you say? I don't think that was a wow moment. That was just an absolute embarrassment of a moment. To be honest. I think you should call the Leazer's End the Sir Bobby Robson stand. Look, I think that's coming in time. I think that will come in time where the owners will start naming the stands after former managers and players. I have no doubt about that. The tribute to Sir Bobby, the amount of flowers, gifts, and fans outside wanting to pay their respects. Yeah, incredible. The 5-0, incredible. Glenn says, Afwida's in pet when Oz has a Scumberland sticker on the bumper of his car. Yeah, yeah. And it's the anniversary of course, the big man passing away.
Bomber,
yeah. So, you know, I put that on Twitter this morning. Absolutely brilliant, man. Cesare says, I'll wear a frock if you take me with you, Paul. Look, the whole gang will be going, man. If we get to the podcast awards, we all going. Simple as that. We got a table of 20 booked, man. Voted, thank you very much. Didn't know about that about Jimmy Neal. He must have wanted to batter the ref after that. My sister-in-law was his daughter in Spender. Said he was a bit of a knob, but he's class enough readers in. Whatever. I just know him for Ralph Wieders in, to be honest, and singing a bit, I guess.
In Big
Crocodile shoes. Big River. I loved singing Big River. I had a request to do that during the lockdown, and I did. I sang it. It was really good. It was really good to do. Used to always stand and wait for Sir Bobby on my way to school. When he's driving through Langley Park one day, it was pissing down, and he pulled over and dropped me off. I was only like 8.
Oh.
Do you know what? And that's interesting, Gavin, because I used to live in Langley Park, and a few people I got talking to about Bobby said he used to do things like that. If it was ever bad weather, he used to pick the school kids up at one end of the village and drop them off at the school at the other. Incredible. I know I'm off topic, but anyone noticed Newcastle have announced another friendly whilst in Portugal against Burnley?
Saturday, I believe,
Yeah.
but it's behind closed doors.
Yeah, it's the same as last season. They played Burnley behind closed doors, didn't they? And lost.
For Nick Pope.
Yeah. Getting 102 points in the 09-10 championship season was amazing, says
very
Jules.
good, Julie.
Yeah. The ultimate number one spot for me after supporting Newcastle for 30-odd years was the last home game last season, I think. The lap of honour with the owners and kids. Wow, emotional, and our club back. Yeah. And you know what? Things like that will only get better. You know, when we start winning things, it'll just be an incredible place to be if we start winning things. George says, the first time I saw this big bloke walking up the stairs at the Leazes end and saying a little prayer when he sat behind me rather than... Funny, George. Funny. Anthony says, Robert almost taking Bernard's head off after kicking the ball at him. Wow, yeah. Clarkie's just voted. Thank you very much, Clarkie. Seeing David Batley pick Nicky Butt up by his throat. That will always stand out in my mind. That was just incredible. Right, we move to number 7, Billy Trey.
Yes, I'm going to echo what you just said about the Hawaii 5-0 or 5-0, should say. 20th of October 1996, just the perfect game for Newcastle United supporter. All the things you've said, great goals, Shearer winning past the fans, doing that. And the one thing I remember is how Everett Cantona stayed on the pitch that day is beyond belief. He'd already been booked for scuffling with Philippe Albert. And he put this tackling on Peter Beardsley, 2-footed, on his knees. How Pedro didn't break his legs, I'll never know. But he got up and carried on playing and, of course, set up a goal after that. But again, refereeing preferential treatment of Man United. Cantona should have been well sent off in that game. But who cares? 5-0, absolutely hammered them. Ferguson was salty as hell after the game, saying that they didn't deserve it and they were the better side. Yeah, okay.
But didn't they go on to lose 7-3 at Southampton the week after?
The week after, yeah, they did.
Yeah, because that was Stripgate, wasn't it? When he blamed the colour of the shirts for the disastrous performance.
For everything, wasn't there?
Yeah,
that was just the way he was.
Yeah, salty bastard. Paul, have you got your Brunel? No. I still haven't. I must
look
get
at little
that in the
Elsie,
morning.
bless her. Oh, isn't she cute? Oh.
Where?
Behind you. She's just gone on the chair by the fish tank.
Oh, yeah.
She's so cute.
I'm dreading it for her the next couple of days. It'll be hell on earth.
Tell me about it.
Just get water sprayers out for the whole. Spray them all the time. Richards has been down 4-0 at half-time to Arsenal, then Czech Tiote equalising. That was an incredible game of football. And you know what gets me is watching the amount of fans that actually left that game at half-time. They just went home and they missed it. And that's the risk you take when you leave a game of football. How many times have people just left in 85 minutes or something like that, and then suddenly, we spring back. It just incredible. Number 7 for you, Danielle?
My number 7 is a recent moment. Not just for the moment itself, but the reaction afterwards. So mine was Bruno's goal against Southampton. And my other half's reaction just made my night. Like, he jumped up when the ball went in, started screaming that Bruno had completed football, that you'll never see another goal like that as long as you live. Or the neighbours next door are all Sunderland fans, so I don't think they were particularly very happy with the noise from the living room. But what a goal. It was just a really personal moment for me. I've never seen Lee as happy watching a game of football in my life. Like, he literally just said, that's it, I'm done. You may as well just stop the whole thing now, because he's just completed the whole thing. Like, amazing. But Bruno against Southampton.
Yeah, brilliant. My number 7 is, it's a wow moment for many different reasons. But my number 7 is Mike Ashley taking over the club. Now, for many different reasons, I've put that in because for me, it is a big wow moment because we as Newcastle United fans had no idea what was coming. Especially when he was, the first few games he was in the crowd, in with the away fans, drinking and being one of the lads, and you thought, yeah, this guy really gets it. He gets it. He wants to, it looks like he wants the club to be really successful. And then over time, that of course dwindled into what we know now. So I think that was a big wow moment because, we ended up with almost 15 years of pure misery, and the club basically being used as a cash cow for his shop. Everywhere you looked around the ground, there was signs up. You couldn't go anywhere. So that's what it was to him. It was a cash cow, and if only we'd known. But 15 years later,
so well, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. But then it disappeared into the wilderness, and of course, during that time, he brought in some shit. It's fair to say, and totally ran the club to the bare bones. So that goes at my number 7. Number 6, Danielle, we'll start with you for this one.
So this one's already been said, but my number 6 was the Dyer versus Boya incident on the 2nd of April 2005. I remember it. I wasn't at the game. I was shopping in town with my friends, and my dad phoned us furious, saying them two idiots are fighting on the pitch. Like, what a disgrace, an absolute embarrassment to our city and our club. And I honestly couldn't make sense of him. He was going absolutely wild. And then watching it on Match of the Day that night, I just thought, wow, what is going on there for them to be that angry with each other that they just can't control themselves on a football pitch. Probably one of the most embarrassing moments I've seen in gameplay for Newcastle United. Mm-hmm.
And like I said before, it wasn't just embarrassing for the club, for the players. It was embarrassing for anyone related with Newcastle United, because we got it massive in the media. Of course, it went crazy. And the one thing I do credit Souness for was getting the players in front of the camera straight away to apologise. That's one thing he did correct. But the damage had already been done, to be fair, and it was awful. It was awful. Ab says Steve Bruce's 1000th game was a wow moment. Yeah, how the Fook moment, more like. Come on. I mean, Jesus wept. Unbelievable, man. Straffy says, remembering John Alder and Liam Sweeney today. Of course, I did put something on Twitter this morning. And of course, Newcastle United, again, absolute quality. Put a touching thing on their Twitter page, which was fantastic because, over the years, nothing's been done under the Ashley regime like that. And it was really touching. So credit to the club again for that. And of course, they'll never be forgotten. Absolutely not. Making that long trip out to New Zealand to watch the lads, and then that happens. Absolutely terrible. But they will always be remembered. Geordie Mix, thank you very much for your £5 super chat. He says, received my Toon review mug yesterday. Love it. What does he like it? He doesn't just like it. He loves it.
Loves it.
Yeah, cracking quality. He says, thank you very much, Geordie Mick. When and if the Leazes stand gets extended, then name it after Sir Bobby. I think they could name it now, to be honest. Ian says, becoming the richest club in the world has to be up there. No, we need KK recognition before more for Sir Bobby. I'm sorry, but KK did way more for this club than Sir Bobby did. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
To agree with that. I'll tend to agree with it. To be honest.
But I remember back to our previous show a few weeks ago when I put him ahead of Sir Bobby when we did the manager, and we ended up just making them joint managers. I think at the time, for what he did at the time when we were heading down and out into Division 3 as it was, and then suddenly we came up the ranks again. But there'll always be that debate, won't there, about Sir Bobby and stuff.
They can have a stand. They can have a stand each. They can have a stand each.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Asprilla hat-trick against Barcelona. Brian says, good evening, Paul, Billy and Danielle. My top wow moments, Richie penalty being turned. Oh, God, can you remember that? Turned into an indirect free kick against us. That was against Burton.
I thought you were going to say Phoebe Bell there for a minute.
No, Burton. It was walked Jackie's funeral, 1,000 lined the streets. Yes, they did. R.I.P. Glenn Roeder. I wasn't the biggest fan when he was appointed, but respect to him and his family. Listen, I don't think Glenn Roeder did a bad job at all when he was manager.
Did a brilliant job.
Yeah, you've got to remember, the owner at the time. Come on, he did a fab job. Paul is missing a bottle of dog. Get him sorted, Billy. Look, Billy, will you please message me in the morning to get my bottle of dog?
Oh, I'll be at work at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're doing early shifts because of the heat, so probably a little chance of that happening.
Well, text me at 5:30 in the morning. I'll probably be still awake through this sweltering sauna. Jules says, well said. Can we take a moment to remember John and Liam? 8 years since they were taken from us. Massive respect to the club for their tribute. Indeed. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anthony says, Hammer and Forest 5-0 to qualify for the Champions League. Going to watch Newcastle play Tottenham last season, even though we lost. It was an amazing feeling to have our club back. Yeah, that was incredible because it was euphoric. Absolutely euphoric. And the stadium was bouncing. War flags were back. Fair enough, after 10 minutes of the game, we thought, yeah, we're back to reality. But, Callum Wilson scoring so early on in the game and the place just erupted and then it all went to shit after that. But, of course, that was Steve Bruce. The Geordie Pope giving his sermon on Wembley Way before the 1998 Cup final. Before the match, NUFC outnumbered Man United fans by about 2-1. They weren't that bothered about soaking it up. Who was the Geordie Pope?
I don't remember him.
Okay. Ratchet says, it's been a while that I've commented. Indeed, it has. All your lives are at... When I'm driving back from work, I am your 199th subscriber and still not a member, just too lazy to fire up my laptop. Where the hell has he gone?
Don't know, maybe he needs a loo.
Well, it just says device not connected. George says he's voted. Thank you very much, George. Nice one. Ketsby attacking the Horden. How can we forget that?
Oh, God.
He was a loose cannon.
Timuri, I loved him, though, just because he was a loose cannon.
Can you imagine him as a manager?
No.
I mean, mental.
Imagine you pay him off, though. Imagine you've got to go back into the dressing room.
Yeah, he'll be belting you around a few times. What's your number 6, Danielle?
I said it.
Yeah, okay. Well, my number 6 is both 4-3s against Liverpool.
Oh, classic games.
To happen, 2 seasons running was bizarre, to say the least. The first game especially, I think the first game is the one that'll stick in everybody's mind the most. Collymore closing in, whack, 4-3, Keegan holding his head over the barrier. It was tragic for many, many reasons, but what a game of football. I mean, you couldn't take your eyes off it. And I remember just sitting there and watching it on the TV thinking, is this actually bloody happening? And then obviously there was some cracking goals scored in that game, but everybody will remember it for Martin Tyler's commentary of Collymore closing in, whack, and then Keegan hanging over the boards. But, both 4-3s for me, that's what I've put at number 6, because I think they were just wow moments that should be combined. Same score, same heartache, but, very different games of football. The first one was a lot better game of football than the second 4-3. But, of course, Warren Barton scored in the second 4-3, which was a incredible moment. He did a catch by when he scored. Yeah, he started kicking the barriers and stuff. Yeah. Gary says, Joe Kinnear reminds me of the equivalent of Joe Biden as president. Not got a clue what's going on.
You're right there, Gary.
Indeed. Keegan's last game, we smashed Tottenham 7-1. Yeah. Shearer's goal against Spurs in the FA Cup semi-final. Yes, I believe that's somewhere on mine, actually, but I'm not 100% sure. Right, we'll move to number 5, Billy Trey.
Yes, another moment where we felt we had our club back, I believe. 19th September 1999. We lay at the bottom of the table. We just sacked Hullet. We'd got Sir Bobby in as manager. He'd had his first game away at Chelsea, lost by 0-0. Much better performance what we'd been used to, though. Following week, Sheffield Wednesday at home on a Sunday, and we absolutely marmalised them 8-0. Shearer scored 5, Gary Speed, Kieran Dyer, and Owen Hughes scored the goals. The bit I remember about that game most, apart from the 5 goals Shearer scored, was Paul Robinson having the temerity to try and take the penalty. Shearer said, "You're not having any of that." Snatched it off him. Not his 5th goal, but we were back and we absolutely marmalised. To all intents and purposes, it wasn't a bad Sheffield Wednesday side, but they weren't in our league that day. Absolutely hammered them. Could have been 12-13-0.
Yeah, could have. Paul Tully says he's voted as well. Thank you very much. And a good point as well. Don't forget to confirm your vote in the email link following voting. So they will email you. You just have to confirm your vote. So don't forget to do that. Thanks for that, Paul. Gary Hannon, thanks for your £5 super chat. He says, do you remember in 97-98 for NUFC, Jimmy Crawford, Dave Burt, Des Hamilton, Brian Pine, or Penis, how he was known, Alessandro Pistone, etc. I posted on the Toon Review Facebook page. Yeah. Frightening when you look back. Frightening. Because, getting rid of the likes of Les Ferdinand, etc., Ginola, bringing in Des Hamilton, of course, just mental. Stephen Hallway, thank you for your £5 super chat. He says, hi, Paul, Danielle, and Billy. Voted guys and good luck. Also, remember when KK spoke to the supporters during the sale of Andy Cole
on the steps. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you probably won't find that happening again either.
No.
But just to remind everybody, the link at the top of the comments is basically for the podcast awards. If you'd like to vote for the Toon Review, please give it a click. It'll ask you to search for your podcast. Just type the Toon Review and it'll come in at the top. Click on it, vote for us, and then you'll get a confirmation email, which you need to confirm your vote again. So just make sure that you're aware of that email coming through and just confirm it again. So thank you very much in advance. Rachel says, going on the stadium tour a few weeks ago and seeing no Sports Direct anywhere. Yeah, magnificent. I'm going to take the kids on the tour one day over the summer. Mm-hmm. Lewis Nightingale, thank you very much for your £4.49 super chat. There's no comment there, but really do appreciate the donation, my friend. Thank you so much. Ian says, my granddad got me into the director's box once. I met Kevin Keegan when he was a player.
Amazing.
Wow. Yeah. Jimmy Crawford, says Gary. Yeah. Getting beat by Leyton Orient after relegation and the players grouping up.
6-1.
Yep. Yeah. Don't we ever forget that. Glenn says, I've Oz from Auf Wiedersehen Pet when he had a blood transfusion kicking off about German blood. Then he looks back at the back of the paper. I've got to go back home. Newcastle only gone and signed Keegan. Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant. Adam says, just voted Toon Review. Great show as always. Thank you very much. Ian says, evening, Paul, Danielle, Billy. Hope you're all good, especially Billy after his birthday hangover. Hope you had a good day, pal. Did we have a hangover, Billy?
No, it was fine. Strangely enough, yeah, it was fine.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I'll probably have one tomorrow, though.
Why not?
Who have you got at number 6, Billy? Sorry. Are we? Yeah,
I've done mine. I've done the suburban option home.
No, we're number 5 now, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Danielle, did you start number 5?
No, I haven't said my number 5 yet.
Okay, well, let's do number 5. Billy, we'll start with you.
I'm going back to 1971 and Malcolm McDonald's home debut versus Liverpool. Bill Shankly's Liverpool, one of the finest managers of all time, in my opinion, who had a great side as well. Yeah. Supermax home debut, scored a hat-trick, past Ray Clements, and for revenge, Ray Clements decided to do a Schumacher on him and knocked him out. So he ended up getting.
Oh, he did, didn't he? Yeah, I remember seeing pictures of that
with teeth missing and all sorts. So yeah, that's been a bit of a wow moment. But yeah, Supermac destroying Liverpool at St James's Park, 1971.
You love to see it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, brilliant. Steve says Dave's picture and applause at St James's Park. Yeah, I must admit, getting that organised was incredible. And then seeing it actually happen was just even more incredible. seeing his face come up on that scoreboard, and then the whole ground standing up and applauding was absolutely surreal. And just thank you to everybody for that, because that was just incredible. Bruce says Newcastle United winning 7-1 against Leicester City. Yeah. Look, we've had some rather good results over Leicester over the years, some important results, of course. Beating the Midfield Street to stay in the league, stay in the second division as it was back then. But you know what? We beat them the following season. We played them on the last game of the season again when we were champions. It was just incredible how times will change within 12 months of a football season. So, yeah. Simon says he's voted. Thank you very much. James is saying hello from the Cayman Islands again. Up the A1 says, watching my husband holding our one-day-old baby daughter in the RVI whilst listening to the roars from St James's Park out the window. What a memory.
Wow. That's lovely.
Ab says, best presenter, Gabby Agbon Lahore. Jock the Gamer says, all those brilliant players' goals, but no silverware. I know.
Not yet. It's coming.
that was the one thing, though, under the superb managers of Keegan and Robson, that we didn't manage to get silverware. But
I wonder
you know
if
what?
we'll have a wow moment at the end of this season.
It's possible.
Well, all we can do is pray, Danny, to be honest. Just pray that it happens. Pray that it happens. Annie says, Billy will be pleased with this. I played cricket for the adults and I hit not 1, not 2, but 3 4s.
Well done, Annie. Well done.
Well done.
Somebody mentioned cricket.
Must have a big edge on his back.
Richard says, the moment I found the Toon review, life is now complete. Thank you, Richard. Geordie Mixers can still remember my dad running around a swimming pool in Spain, waving a copy of The Sun, screaming at the top of his lungs that we had signed Kevin Keegan. Never seen a man so excited. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, it was a massive moment, wasn't it? I mean,
oh, God, yeah.
It was huge. It turned Southampton into a big side. You know, by far the best side on the South Coast, better than Portsmouth anyway. And for him to kind of step down the league, come to Newcastle, but he always felt that Newcastle was his destiny, didn't he? Because he was that big at Geordie.
Yeah, it was just unreal. And I don't think it actually sunk in with anybody until it actually happened, Billy, you know, until that everybody saw him there, you know, in the black and white. It was just that surreal. I was only a very young kid at the time, but Kevin Keegan's name was huge in football. You know,
well, he carried the England team on his own for 3 years.
Yeah. But I remember the 82 World Cup in Spain and things like that. And then suddenly we signed Kevin Keegan. It was just monumental experience. Tangy says Gary Speed taking his own life has to be the most saddened. Wow. Still can't believe it happened to this day. Yep, he'll never be forgotten. Never. The wow moment for Stephen was Kieran Clark doing his public Saudi relations exercise.
I forgot about that, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely. How could you forget that, Danielle?
I don't know. I've erased it from my memory.
I know. Well, a lot of people have, to be fair. Michael Marsden says, hi, Paul, Danielle, and Billy. Hope you're all well. And I've voted. Thanks, Michael. Cheers, buddy.
See you soon, Michael.
We will indeed. Just bought 3 fans for this heat wave. That's 2 more than the Mackhams have. Good evening, Sunderland. King Kev having the balls to front the fans after selling coal. The man went up in my estimations after that. And, you know, one thing he did say was, guys, trust him. You know, he said that, you know, it was a very, very important decision, but to trust in him because things would get better. And, of course, he brought Shearer in. And then, of course, he resigned. So, you know, it just crazy moments. Christian says, just voted. Hope to see you at the Benfica match or Bilbao. I'm sure we will, Christian. We'll just be, me and Alex will just be along from the club shop. Ratchet's voted as well. Thank you very much. Jeff's also put Supermax home debut against Liverpool, Billy. Lauren Robert hitting Bernard again is there. Big shout out to Gary Speed. So underrated and never forgotten. My mum was heartbroken. R.I.P. mum. Yeah, absolutely. Geordie Mick voted and confirmed. Thank you very much. Tom says the bloke who climbed the tree next to the Civic Centre at the promotion party in '92, he realised he couldn't get down and everyone chanted, "You're stuck up a tree, you stuck up a tree." That's typical Newcastle fans. That instead of like thinking how we're going to get him down from there, it's just, "You stuck up a tree." Oh dear. Giles has voted and confirmed. Thank you very much. Annie's voted. Thanks, Annie. Cheers, bud. The time when Vinnie Jones grabbed Gaza by the nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. Tom says, Paul, you want to get your tour booked? Someone was saying a couple of days ago it's booked up for weeks.
Yeah,
it is. But I think there is some spaces. So I'll get there eventually. I've done it about 5 times. It's just to get the kids in. Gary says, my true moment was last season. I paid for me, my son and his mother to go to St. James's for his birthday. And Miggy got the job done for him. Brilliant. Gary says he's voted as well. Thank you very much. Hangover for work at 6 a.m. Don't sound fun, Billy. Well, by the time he gets to work, he'll have probably sweated the alcohol out, judging by the temperatures.
That just reminds me that day after that takeover showed me I was ill. Oh, rotten. I mean, it was disgusting.
Yeah, I think we know that, Danny. To be honest, you were in fantastic spirits that night.
I wasn't at 5 a.m. on my sofa where I slept and lying on the kitchen floor and that. Oh, nah.
Did you pray to Huey a few times that night?
No. Me buttery crumpet saved us that day. But like literally, I had to have a nap at lunchtime. I had to take myself to bed. It was just awful. Grim.
Wow. Okay. Right. Where are we, by the way? Has Billy just give his number 5, Danielle?
Yeah, so my number 5 was against Hull City in 2014 when Pardew stuck the nut on Mailer, can't even say his name, Mailer.
Macklin Mailer.
Yeah, and I just remember going, he's nutted him. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, what on earth? Completely lost his head.
Yeah,
It was brilliant.
He did.
Loved it.
I think it was one of them moments where it was a sort of Dyer and Boyer moment, wasn't it? And I can't believe I've just seen that happen.
But you could see it. You could see like something brewing. But it was just that moment when I don't know who said something. I don't know if it was Pardew had said something. The player was walking away, and then the player turned back on himself and was marched towards Pardew. And I thought, oh, here we go. And Pardew just stood his ground and just stuck the nut on him. Like, what is happening?
Yeah. It was something else, to be honest.
He was under pressure at the time, there wasn't he? With the whole Sack Pardew campaign was in full flow then, as I know from experience, and actually took the edge of a really good performance that day, which is sad because we played really well and won 3-0, I believe.
Yeah. Superb. Thank you guys. Many people putting in the comments that they voted for us. That's absolutely superb. Thank you so much, guys. Right, my number 5 moment is Craig Bellamy scoring in Rotterdam. For various different reasons. That the game was to and fro, to say the least. It looked all of a sudden as if we were done and dusted. It was over, and then we score that crazy goal at the end where it looks like, is it a shot? Is it a cutback? And then the keeper knocks it into the corner. It doesn't matter. We've won. Just what an emotional night. And the commentator screaming, we've done it. And just a fantastic moment for Newcastle United. And the performance was brilliant. I mean, even Shola Ramiobi played well in that game. And, that's how good we were. So that gets my number 5. Chappers, thank you very much for your £4.49 super chat. He says, I bet you said the immortal words of never again, Danielle.
I did, and I've never done it since.
Yes, until we win something, and then Danielle will come on the show absolutely obliterated.
I might make an exception.
Of course, yeah.
When we win something.
Yeah.
A corner, a throw in.
Terms of that though. What qualifies as winning something?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Billy's just said a corner or a throw in. I think that will mean. James says Diame's goal away to Brighton. Oh, what a finish that was. Just a flick of a heel, and into the top bins it went. Brilliant moment. Brilliant. Andy says, wow moment. Gary Lineker breaking the news at the 96 Olympic Games that we've signed Alan Shearer for a world record 15 million quid.
Brilliant day.
Dodgy Doug, the bully, was the main reason KK resigned. Allegedly, yes. Allegedly. Gary says, if there's any new people watching, you can click like, share, subscribe, and chat with new friends while all are free to do with a thumbs up with loads of respect for the great show today. Cheers, Gary. Douglas is a massive wow moment. Kevin Keegan scoring on his debut versus Queen's Park Rangers. I was in the Gallagher end and the fans went crazy. I've been in the Gallagher many times as a child when I've sort of ended up at the front, standing next to strange kids that I didn't know, but what brilliant times. Welshie, thank you very much. My top moment was when Alan Shearer signed, and also the Takeover 2, finally getting our club back for good. Yeah. Want you back. I want you back for good. Happy I was to catch the stream. Meeting Peter Beardsley in Vancouver 2001 would be my wow moment. Winning the Fairs Cup in 69. Mike Dean not stopping play when Hayden had a head injury against Liverpool. Don't get me started on that. I mean,
that was just the start of things, wasn't it? Let's be honest. He did more than that. After that, he got worse, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Toon Dave, thank you very much for your £2 super chat, and thank you for voting as well. Here's a question: since it's wow moments, who's your wow player? Well, that's in a previous show under our favourite players. You can go back and watch that. But I think it's pretty much Peter Beardsley. Or Alan Shearer.
Oh, many, yes.
Or loads. Pretty much everyone for Danielle, because they're all in her heart.
It's so true.
Yeah. Anne says, hi all at the Toon Review. Another great show. Thank you. I have voted for you. All done. Take care. Thank you very much, Anne. Thank you. Jack the Gamer says, Borough fan here. Hope Newcastle win trophies galore. It's so unjust. Can you imagine any other club anywhere having fans as happy and supporting as this? You're great. Love you lot. Thank you very much for a Borough
very
fan.
kind.
That's a nice thing to say.
Yeah, definitely. Jack, you're a star. Thank you very much. Spider says, just voted. Hope it helps your show. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Pardew was a fantastic dancer, though, to be fair to him, says Tony. Oh, he is. He is.
I
like
was
coffee.
so glad. I was so glad they lost that cup final.
Yeah. Voted for the best Newcastle channel on YouTube. Thanks very much. That dancing was a little bit,
it's the only time I've ever supported Man United, I've got to be honest. And I hate Alan Pardew with the passion. And when he started doing that dance, Christ.
It wasn't so. I mean, it was the hips, man. It was like, what are you doing? It's X-rated. Cringe is a.
Do you know he used to call himself the King? That was his name, and he used to say, "And when the King says this, the King gets." And he was like spoke about himself in the third person. King's dinner is coming. King's breakfast is here. You know, that sort of shite.
What?
Yeah, proper.
Flipping
The guy was a cock. Simple as that. The guy was a cock. Samsonite Dave, thank you very much for your 50 Danish kroner. Really, really appreciate that. He says, only drink on days that ends in a why not. Why not? Yeah, I get it. Norvik says, don't forget to check your email and confirm your vote, guys, for the podcast awards. Thank you very much to everybody that's doing that. I really do appreciate it. Ian says, when Amiobi was asked, what nickname does Bobby Robson call you? And he replied, Carl Court. Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely superb was Bobby. Gary says, just voted and confirmed it and posted on Twitter too. Thanks, Gary. Really appreciate it, buddy. We've all done number 5, have we? Number 4, Danielle.
I've gone for the Chioti goal against Arsenal, completing the comeback, and also a special mention to Steve Harper for the people's elbow. I just remember, honestly, I wasn't at that game, but I took myself to bed because I was in a right fettle with myself. When we went 4-0 down, I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. So I went to bed with the radio under the duvet, praying for a miracle. And literally, oh my God, and that 4th goal went in, literally waving the duvet, everything. It was just the most amazing moment. And what an amazing player. How fitting for him. What a goal that was. What a player he was. And if memory served us correctly, I believe that game was released on DVD, as things tend to be back then for Newcastle United every time we won like a big game. So I remember getting that on DVD as well, just to remember the moment. But brilliant goal by Chioti. What a legend.
It was crazy, wasn't it? You know, just the amount of fans that had left the ground at half time, and then but the comeback was incredible. And Joey Barton had a lot to do with that, actually. So Tony says the Pardew shuffle. Oh, yeah. When my mum and sister met Andy Cole in the Metro Centre, I was 8. He was my hero. They didn't ask for his autograph or anything. I didn't go because hated shopping. I was absolutely devastated.
Oh, never.
That's why you need to go shopping. Raymond says, voted best channel out there by a mile. Thank you very much, matey. Really appreciate it. Some of Papa Cissé's goals were amazing. Papa Cissé. Okay. My first Toon strip in 74. Wow. Cissé first few months was wow. Definitely. Definitely. Future wow moment when we finish ahead of Man United every season and chant there's only one United every time we play them.
Absolutely. I might have a drink that day.
Yeah. Stotty says, Paul, excuse the question, but how does this idiot vote? Well, idiot, you go to the link at the top of the live comments and click on that. That'll take you through to the podcast website. You then just, in the search bar, type in the Toon review. It'll come up. Select the Toon review. That'll confirm your vote. Then you'll be emailed to confirm it again, just to make sure it's not a spam or a bot. I presume that's why they do it. So they do email you and you confirm it again via email. And that's your vote done, matey. My wow moment was when they cleaned the damn windows. Yes, Jim. Yes. Yes. A lot of fans didn't understand that. But, you know. Malcolm says, just voted for the show on the podcast awards. Keep up the cracking work. Thank you very much, Malcolm. Don't forget to confirm your email when you get it. Right, Billy, what was your number 4 moment?
Yeah, I mean, every Christmas time we get the Sports Personality of the Year Awards, London, and the 2008 edition our former manager, Sir Bobby Robson, received a Lifetime Achievement.
Yeah, he did.
Presented by Gary Lineker, given to him by his good friend, Sir Alex Ferguson. I believe the only person Alex Ferguson respected in football was Sir Bobby Robson.
Indeed.
But as he struggled to get himself onto the stage, because he was quite poorly by then, we hadn't seen him for a while. He'd done a bit of work with the Republic of Ireland with helping Steve Staunch now. We hadn't seen him for a while. That had finished. But he managed to walk up to the stage unaided, gave a speech. Well, at first he had a 7 or 8 minute standing ovation, which was absolutely unbelievable. Made me cry, I've got to be honest. And then he gave a great speech and very humorous, and lots of ex-players behind him. And the actual joy in his face when he received the award. And as I say, the speech was so humorous and so touching. And it made me well up. And I must be honest, I cried watching it. It was fantastic that he received such a great award, a great accolade, because he deserved it. But yeah, Sir Bob Robson received a Lifetime Achievement at the Sports Personality of the Year Awards. I've never seen anything so emotional.
It was quite touching that he didn't even feel like he deserved it, though. You know, when he was talking and when he accepted the award,
didn't he?
He was so very understated and.
He was always staggered, to be honest, that he won anything. Malcolm, thank you for voting. Matthew, thank you for voting. Steve, thank you very much. I Like Coffee says, Miggy getting Goal of the Month award was a wow moment for me. King Arthur says, it's amazing the fan base Newcastle has when you look at the way they've been treated for so long. Because we're loyal, you know, and we're not plastic fans. And I think that's what stands out to a lot of people. A lot of proper football fans understand. You know, you'll get the idiots who say, oh, you just want to win this. You expect. We don't. We just want a football club. A wow moment for Ian was the last show with Statos Finn, Lupin, Whacker, Macker moment. If you haven't seen it, guys, that's on a short on the channel if you want to go and have a look at it after the show. Essex Stotty says, vote done and confirmed for the only show worth watching. Best of luck, team. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Right, my number 4 moment was Kevin Keegan coming to Newcastle. I've put it right up there at number 4. I thought it was an incredible moment. For me as a young kid, seeing such an absolute legend already for me, you know, this magnificent footballer for England, Liverpool, and he's coming to Newcastle. It was just unbelievable. And also him coming as manager in 92, you know, 91, 92, just incredible. So, you know, Keegan coming to Newcastle both times really gets my number 4. Billy, number 3?
Yeah, 25th of May, 2012. I believe we saw the finest double goal scored in the Premier League history. Papi Cisse at Chelsea. The first was a fantastic goal in its own right, the way he took his ball down with his right foot and volleyed it in with his left. But the second goal, has there ever been a better goal in Premier League history? I can't remember one. Unbelievable strike from they had no right to score from it. And I can remember Drogba being on the bench, actually like that.
Yeah, it was like, because Pardew looked at him, didn't he? And sort of Drogba was like, you know, he just didn't know what to say, did he? It was just an incredible moment.
But the greatest goal I've ever seen in Premier League history. And do you know what? We don't see enough of it. For the quality of that goal, we don't see enough of that goal.
We don't. But if that was scored by, you know, let's say for Drogba, for example, or a Zola,
for instance, we always see Wayne Rooney's shinned overhead kick, don't we?
Which hit his shin. But you're right, 100%. Danielle, your number 3?
My number 3 was the last game of the season in 2015, which goes back to my number 10 when Mike actually spoke.
Yeah.
It was a kind of must-win game. Came down to the last game of the season, whether we were going to stay up or whether we were going to be relegated. And one man scored for me, and the goal was not only brilliant, but the celebration said everything it needed to say. It was Jonas. He scored that goal, went running over to where Mike Ashley was sat and did that. Simply because of he'd returned from cancer treatment, he'd been so poorly and been treated so badly by the club, not looked after at all. And he wanted to kind of make that point to say, actually, here I am. This is what I'm about. And yeah, absolutely. And for me, what a hero, what a man. Always be a Geordie to us, always one of us. And even better that he sued Mike Ashley afterwards and got what was owing to him. So good on you, Jonas.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely. My number 3 is scoring to win in the last minute twice against Norwich. Now I know that's only a championship game, but those 2 goals, the atmosphere in that ground, we hadn't seen or heard for so many years. And, you know, to come back like that and Dwight Gale getting the winner, it was incredible to hear St. James's Park in a state of uproar like that. It was just incredible. I mean, I think I threw George above my head, spinning him around like a basketball on one finger at one stage. It was just unreal. It was an incredible time. And that, again, I've put it as number 3 because it's one of those things that sticks in my mind for many a moon to come. And it was an important 3 points as well at the time. So, you know, that gets my number 3. Moving on to number 2, Billy.
Yeah, going back to the 4th of February 2006, Newcastle 2, Portsmouth 0. But of course, it's famous for that 1 goal. Alan Shearer breaking Jackie Milburn's record.
Yes.
That little backflip from his shoulder to put him through on in March, 1-on-1. There was no doubt where the ball was going to end up. And he duly slotted it past David James, I believe it was, to score his, whatever goal it was, 266 or whatever it was. Run off to the Gallagher Strawberry corner. What an emotional moment it was, and what a great goal, and what a great servant he was for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Incredible. David, thank you very much for voting. Really appreciate that. Danielle, number 2.
My number 2 was the 5th of February 1992, when Kevin Keegan signed as manager and came back as manager, which obviously was the start of the road to the entertainers, which brought obviously the city, the club, all fans, so much joy, and, you know, enabled so many people to fall in love with the club. An amazing man, amazing manager. It was a shame what happened with KK, both the first time he was manager and the second time. But what a legend, what a player, what a man. Love him.
Absolutely. Well, my number 2 was losing the 12-point lead in the Premier League. That is something I will never forget as a Newcastle fan. Until we win it, of course, and then it will be forgotten. But until we win it, then it will always be there at how close we were to actually winning the Premier League. We were walking that league at one stage, absolutely walking it. And then all of a sudden, we have a bit of a dodgy spell. Man United catch us, and the rest is history, and we don't win the Premier League. Heartbreaking shit, that. And, you know, it just sums up why I hate Man United even more, to be honest.
Amen to that. Preach.
I absolutely despise them.
And they went weeks on end winning 1-0, Cantona scoring when he should have been playing. He should have been banned for life after what he did at Palace.
Yeah,
I agree. Yep, I agree.
So that's kind of turned it. And Peter Schmeichel performing wonders each week in, week out as well was kind of at the same time. So week after week, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Yeah, it was just destined not to be for us, but the first, wasn't it?
Yeah. And we moved to number 1, which I don't think anybody is. I mean, look, I think it's fair to say we've all got the takeover as number 1. I would be amazed if we didn't. Just incredible day.
I've got Newcastle beating Grimsby 3-1 in the League Cup. Justin Whittle, Albo, and Alan shit. No, I haven't.
Billy, you're a lying twat. There's no way you'd have put that above the takeover. I think the whole day, you know, the day before.
I put the 6th and the 7th.
Yeah. We did that show the night before when the rumours were there that it was the takeover was happening. There was some very, very big names in the media saying, yes, it's going to happen within the next 24 hours. We had just completed the most depressing fan forum ever on this channel after losing to Wolves. And we thought, this is nothing's going to change. And then bang, you know, a few days later, we go live for a good 2.5 hours. We hit record viewing figures on the channel. Danielle was absolutely minging. You know, she didn't know what she was saying half the time. We were just all overjoyed, and it was just an incredible moment. And then, of course, we went live the night after because it was confirmed at tea time. We were now in new owners' hands. Mike Ashley was gone. And then it was just talking about the good times to come, you know, which was obviously we wanted everything to happen that night.
I was going to say, when was Bruce getting sacked from what I remember?
When is Bruce getting sacked? When is the training ground getting done? What signings are we making in January? You know, is Mbappe and Messi coming in January? All of this kind of crap, you know. And why not after the crap that we've been through as fans for 15 years? We had every right to do that. And it was just a case of just taking with time and just believing that it had actually happened in the first place.
Absolutely.
But yeah, now I don't know whether you've put any honourable mentions down, but I'll just read mine out. Steve Bruce's appointment as Newcastle United manager. Rafa coming.
I mean, how we got Rafa Benitez, I have no idea.
Yeah,
Flipping
but I've also said that leaving the club as well, which, you know, the return of Keegan, obviously as manager, appointing Joe Kinnear twice as manager, Johan Kebab and all that, renaming St James's Park the Sports Direct Arena.
Oh my God.
That is something that will, I mean, God, fucking hell.
I've got the atmosphere in the stands at Old Trafford when we beat Sheffield United in the semi-final of the FA Cup.
Yes.
Semi-final,
well, I've actually one of them, Shearer's winning goal in the semi-final against Sheffield United.
Cracking goal, wasn't it?
The outside of his boot, right in the top corner, and then of course he saw Hullett and everyone jumping, dancing on the sidelines. And how good life was at that time under Rudd Hullett. It soon changed. But there you go. Yeah. Tony says I kind of miss Paul's Bruce rants in a way.
I don't.
Well, my blood pressure certainly
Susan
doesn't.
definitely doesn't.
No.
I
think I'm going to have a heart attack every time I went on camera. Sacking of Bobby Robson. And my last one, the signing of Bruno. Now, I've put that because it is a wow, because we could have one of the best midfielders ever to play at this football club. And hopefully, you know, we'll look back at this and me saying this in years to come and think, yeah, you know, that was a wow moment for Newcastle United, beating Arsenal to his signature, and hopefully being one of the best we've ever seen in the middle of the park for Newcastle, which I believe he will be. You already think he's there, Billy. You know, you've said that. There's some of the things he's already done, which is unbelievable. But that is the end of the show, guys. We hope you've enjoyed spending your Sunday night with us again. Very interesting in the chat. Thank you to everybody that has voted in the podcast awards. That obviously I'll put that link on tomorrow night's show as well for everybody who wasn't on tonight. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock is the transfer show. Me, Alex, and Billy will be on that one because I believe you're back to work, Danielle.
Yeah.
Early mornings again.
But
listen, as long as you just watch us from somewhere cool tomorrow night, like the garden or somewhere in the shade or sitting in a cold bathtub, whatever it is, join us tomorrow night. Alex will be going through more stats on the graphics and stuff like that, providing his internet gets going again.
We're talking over the friendly, won't we, as well?
Of course, because
the friendly's on tomorrow.
Are you doing a watch along, Paul, or not?
Is it on YouTube?
I've got no idea.
Do we know?
No idea.
Well, if it's not on YouTube, I'll do a watch along, definitely. If it's on YouTube, there's no point. But if it's not, you know, I will actually do that. So there you go. Jules has put mod wows for me. Anytime Paul goes on his United Nations rants, you know.
I hear you, Jules. I hear you.
Yeah. Just getting sort of court summons in the post, you know, just it could happen
anytime.
You
need to get yourself a good legal representative like I have.
Well, Jules is there. I'm sure she'll represent all of us, you know. I'm not the only one that said bizarre things from time to time. Ax has got to do stats on Finn Luca Lachenmacher. The match is at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah. Now, as I say, if it's not on YouTube, then I will put it out on the socials that I'll be doing a Newcastle match is on YouTube live tomorrow at 3, says Bruce. Well, we said that last time. Yeah. But if it's not on YouTube, I will put it out over the socials that I'll be doing a watch along. So just stay tuned. But tomorrow night we'll be talking about the friendly and, of course, the transfers on the Monday night transfer show. Tuesday
Can I
night
just say before you carry on, to make sure that everybody drinks plenty of water tomorrow.
Yes.
If you've got pets, keep an eye on them. Don't take your dog for a walk in the sun when it's too hot. If you put your foot out on the pavement outside and it's too hot, do not take your pets out for a walk in that weather.
Well, it's common sense, isn't it, for pet owners? Dog owners, do not take your dogs out for a walk. No. It's ridiculous. No. Tony's saying it's on the NUFC website rather than YouTube again. So listen, we'll clarify that tonight and in the morning, and then I'll just keep an eye on the channel, guys. If I schedule a show for the watch along, just keep an eye on it, and then we'll discuss it tomorrow night. But Tuesday night as well, don't forget the fan forum, and don't forget to vote, guys, for the podcast awards. I'll put the link on tomorrow as well. Thanks, guys, for joining me tonight. Thank you for the mods for steering the chat in the calm seas of heat. I really do appreciate that, and thank you to everybody who's joined us tonight and had their say on the greatest moments, wow factors of Newcastle United. We hope you've enjoyed the show. We'll see you again tomorrow night. There probably will be a video coming out from me sometime tomorrow, because I'm going to do a video on Darren, what's his face? Eels, yeah.
Mhm.
I'll be doing a video on him, so keep an eye out on the channel for that as well. But until tomorrow night, on the next live, take care.
Good night, guys.
How are the lads?